to 8-out Pandora's box. My style's unorthodox, left-handed self-law, right brain self-taught. Back when I started busting rhymes like coming of age. Same time I bust my first nut, coming of age.
Hello YouTube, Jason here, and today we don't have an episode of Street Defense just because of this whole coronavirus thing. My training partners are out of town, back home with their families. So today we're gonna do something a little different. We're still gonna give you guys a video, and we're gonna do a home shadow boxing routine. Okay, so we're gonna cover 3 rounds. All right, first round we're gonna cover is just gonna be our lead hand. Okay, so if you're southpaw, it's going to be your right hand. If you're orthodox, it's going to be your left hand. Okay, so we're going to work that lead hand in the first round. Okay, so the rounds can be 2 to 3 minutes depending on how you feel and how comfortable you are with the techniques. Okay, so just to go over a few front hand attacks. All right, we have the jab, right? Bread and butter of boxing, your jab, right? So key things about the jab: make sure you're not winding back. Make sure it's straight from point A to point B. Boom, boom, right? The other hand, make sure that other hand is up, glued to your head or chin, and have your elbow in to block that body shot, right? So you have your jab, you have your hook, lead hook, right? And you have your uppercut, your lead uppercut. Those can also now go to the body. So jab to the head, jab to the body. You got your hook to the head, hook to the body. Same thing with the uppercut. You got the head uppercut and the body uppercut. All right. Now, a big thing you should focus on is keeping that other hand protecting you during this 2 to 3 rounds. And also, you're going to want to switch up levels, right? And move your feet a lot. So when we're shadow boxing, we want to make sure we're moving our feet, make sure we're changing angles. Fencing, right? Imagine we're not knocking them out, we're just trying to fence them, right? Keep them away. Pepper them with shots, pot shots, right? Boom, 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 right? Boom, boom, hit, right? Use some head movement. You can add in some blocks. But it's just going to be that front hand, right here, front hand. Good footwork. Make sure you keep your footwork going. Pump that jab. You can double it up, triple it up, right? Double it up, go to the body, right? Go to the body, go to the head, all with the front hand, okay? So do that for 2 to 3 minutes, and then we're moving on to the next round. Round 2. Round 2, we're gonna set up our 2 or our straight, okay? So your jab's your 1, your 2 is your straight, okay? So, or your cross, right? So when we're setting up our 2, we wanna make sure we're using our jabs to measure out that range, right? So I'll go this way, right? We wanna make sure we measure out that range and then launch that 2, okay? So that's what we're gonna be doing the second round, okay? So you're measuring out the 2 with the 1, using the jab, and then throw your 2 right where it is, okay? Again, during this round, use a lot of footwork, right? You're setting up that 2, we're still using footwork, and that 2 can even be to the body, right? Jab up high, 2 to the body. Right, or jab down, 2 to the head. Right, so here's a few seconds of how it'll look. Right, so we're still using our jab, we're still using that front hand to set up our 2. Right, so we're moving, right, we're moving, setting up that 2. Right, setting up that 2. So keep that front hand light, except for maybe an uppercut or a hook. Keep the jabs light, vary up the power, right? So I'm not throwing hard always, but I am exploding when I should, right? At the end of those punches, right? So we're setting up that 2, right? To the body, to the head, setting up that 2. All right, we're gonna set up that 2. Good. All right, so now we got our 1 going, we got our 2. Now, we're gonna put them together, okay, so with different ranges. So throughout all these shadowboxing rounds, you should be imagining an opponent in front of you. That means you have to move your feet accordingly, right? I can't just stand here and just trade shots with people, right? For the most part, most of the people I spar are bigger and stronger than me, right? So I have to use my agility, I have to use my footwork. I can't just sit here and play Rock'em Sock'em Robots. So this has to apply to your shadowboxing as well. You have to do your shadowboxing like how you would want to spar. Okay, so last round, round number 3 now. We're gonna go start with the jabs, right? So think about this as distance. We're gonna start far distance or far from our opponent, right? So we can only really touch him with the jab, maybe the cross if we lean in, right? Right? Once we start this combination, so we're gonna start far, long range, come in, right? Start your combination, come into the short range, so here's your hooks and uppercuts, change them to the body, to the head, and then I want you to end with that jab, coming back into the long range, right? This is supposed to simulate how you should want to spar, right? You're not gonna just come in there, right? You gotta start from that far range, right? And then come in, and then come back out, right? You don't wanna just sit there and wait for the counter, okay? So here's a few seconds of that, and we're gonna show you that. So, right? Start from the outside, right? We're moving our feet still. We're still moving our head, moving our feet, right? Moving our upper body, coming in, and then coming back out, right, with the jab, right? So we got the jab, coming in, and then back out, jab back out, right? Keep them away. So they're over here, they're away. We come in, and then back out, jab back out, right? Right, so we're coming in, and then back out. Okay, so just like that, do that for another 2 or 3 minutes, and then you're done, right? So this is a very quick shadowboxing workout. You can do it for longer rounds if you want. I would say 2 to 3 if you want to train amateur boxing rules specifically. And but you know, it's also really important to just focus on the techniques, right? So if you just want to spend 10 minutes working on your jab, cross, and really perfecting that, right? Jab, cross, focus on the form, focus on bringing your hand right to where it needs to be, no wind up, and turning those hands over and turning those hips, right? Making sure that elbow doesn't pop up, make sure it stays tight. Boom! Right there. So just little tips really, your jab, cross. But that is a pretty simple 3-round boxing workout. Recap real quick. First round, just front hand, keeping away. Use a lot of feet. Second round, we're using that front hand to set up that 2, right? And then the third round, we're using long range to get into short range, and then to get back into long range. Okay, all right, so thank you guys so much for joining us today. I know it's a very hard time during these times to work out and stay motivated to train, but you know, this is a better time than any to really hone in on our techniques, okay? So thank you guys, and we'll see you next week.
Ironic how in high school I made the high honor roll. While I was high on a roll, killing instrumentals, never sentimental. But I'll be sentimental institutions for this crazy hell I'm spewing.